will now therefore be it resolved by this convention, mandatory Southern Zoning 2027, that the Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC, hereby zones its presidential ticket for the 2027 presidential elections to Southern Nigeria for the remaining and single term of 4 years. Northern Reversion 2031, that upon the completion of the said 4-year term in 2031, the presidential ticket of our great party, the Nigerian Democratic Congress, shall automatically and irrevocably rotate to Northern Nigeria. That this decision is taken in the supreme interest of national healing, to douse sectional tensions and to guarantee that the NDC remains for all Nigerians, young and old, male and female.
If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. They said they wanted a new Nigeria, but in the old Nigeria, it is always about who gets the ticket and where they come from. Today, that question has just been answered inside a brand new party, and the answer is shaking the entire opposition space. The Nigerian Democratic Congress, the NDC, held its maiden national convention today, Saturday, the 9th of May, 2026 in Abuja, and before the dust could even settle, delegates moved a motion, seconded it, and adopted it by the resolution. The NDC has officially zoned its 2027 presidential ticket to the South for a single 4-year term in office. The motion was moved by Afam Victor Ogene, a federal lawmaker representing Obaru Federal Constituency in Anambra State, and seconded by Sheyi Showumi. And just like that, with a voice note in a convention hall, the shape of Nigeria's 2027 opposition race changed. It was agreed that the North would automatically receive the presidential ticket in 2031 after the 4-year Southern term. Clean, decisive, written into the architecture of the party from day one. Now here is why that matters. Here is the thing that people are going to talk about all week. The NDC just did in one afternoon what the ADC spent months refusing to do, because African Democratic Congress, the coalition that was supposed to be the big tent of opposition political parties in Nigeria, could never resolve the single most explosive question inside it: who gets the presidential ticket, North or South? Sources within the ADC said the party had failed to spell out the rules of engagement. The issue of zoning had been there all along, and the party refused to be categorical. No clear position, no firm commitment, just silence, and silence, as anyone who has watched Nigerian politics knows, is non-neutral. Silence always benefits somebody, and in the ADC, silence appeared to benefit ATIKU Abubakar. ATIKU made it known to all who cared to listen that he would be contesting the ADC primary and would not be stepping down for anyone, even if the odds of winning the election proper were heavily stacked against him. He had even boasted publicly that he has never failed to secure a presidential ticket whenever he sought one. Think about that statement for a moment. That is not a man running for president. That is a man announcing that the primary is already settled in his mind. And it was precisely that energy, that confidence, that presumption that made peterobi position in the ADC increasingly uncertain. Those in Obi's camp had grown anxious. It had become clear to them that the party was unlikely to zone the ticket to the South. ATIKU saw that Obi was resolute about contesting and reportedly turned to Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde as a potential running mate instead, effectively trying to freeze Obi out of the race entirely. They had even, according to the Daily Sun, been pushing for Obi to drop his presidential ambition and run as ATIKU's running mate for a second time. Exactly as he did in 2019, Obi refused flatly. He had promised his supporters a different outcome, a different story. He was not going to be the southern garnish on a northern plate again. So Obi left. Kwankwaso followed, and now they are in the ADC, a party that has just formally answered the question the ADC was too afraid to ask. Buba Galaniba, a key political associate of Kwankwaso, had already confirmed the direction weeks ago, saying clearly on Channels Television, "We have zoned the party's presidential candidature to the south. No missing votes. We have zoned it to the south. No ambiguity, no diplomatic hedging, just a declaration." And that contrast with the ADC is not incidental. It is the entire political argument. The opposition broke apart over a question about fairness, about power rotation, about whether the South would be taken seriously as a partner or merely used as a geographic prop in northern-led projects. After 8 years of the Buhari presidency from the north, southern partners in the coalition were insisting that to replace Tinubu, who would have spent 4 years in 2027. The remaining 4 must naturally go to a candidate of the southern extraction. That was the logic. That was the moral argument. The ADC couldn't accept it. The NDC just enshrined it. Now, among the prominent figures present at the NDC convention today were peterobi and Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, both of whom recently joined the party. The zoning decision, widely seen as clearing the path for Obi, does not hand him the ticket automatically. The party will conduct open primaries, not a consensus arrangement. But the field is now unmistakably shaped in his favor. He is the highest profile southern figure in the party. He is the man whose supporters walked through the rain to vote in 2023. He is the man who won Plateau and swept southeast, pushed deep into middle belt territory on nothing but moral credibility and grassroots energy. Meanwhile, what is left in the ADC? Well, ATIKU, an unreformed northern ambition, a coalition fractured by mistrust and alleged money politics. Without Obi, ATIKU loses southern spread, youth momentum, urban support, and critical middle belt penetration needed to build a viable national coalition. The ADC is still standing, but the soul of what made it exciting has relocated. The NDC made its bet. They have said fairness is not a slogan, it is a structure, and they have built it into the first decision of the first day of the first convention of the party's life. Whether that bet pays off depends on whether Nigerians trust the new party's sincerity, whether peterobi can consolidate his support base after yet another platform change, and whether a divided opposition can somehow avoid handing Tinubu a second term on a plate. But today, for the first time in this cycle, one opposition party looked at the zoning question and didn't flinch. That is the story. It is only just beginning. If you want to stay ahead of the 2027 race, every move, every betrayal, every coalition deal, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell. Drop a comment below. Do you think peterobi will win the presidential ticket? And can the NDC actually compete in 2027? Until I see you on the next video, remain blessed.